Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with Joe Boo's Day Job. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo's Day Job as well as Joe Boo Sports. They always tell me, don't quit your day job, and I haven't. So, you guys saw that my mother in law's house, we ended up moving them down to the main level of the house. And we ended up pulling out that cast iron bathtub and replacing it with the handicap accessible shower. We moved the toilet over, and last night was the first night they slept downstairs, and my mother-in-law was very, very appreciative that she didn't have to do the stairs anymore. She's getting ready to have a knee joint replacement, and I envy her because, as my doctor put it, your knee is effed. Okay, I don't know how you're walking in on that thing, but you need to wait till you're about 60 to get it done. So she's going to end up getting that done, and hopefully going to be able to walk a lot better. In the meantime, we still have one more project to do for their house. Actually, two, because they want me to make a headboard. But we have a wall in their living room. We're going to make it so that way it's more functional than what it is. So we're going to do some built-in bookcases that are going to go floor to ceiling. Now we're going to do a couple of things with this. We're going to actually make part of it so it's like a desk. So that way my father-in-law can actually use that as his desk. And we're also on the upper bookcases that are going to go to the ceiling at a 9-foot ceiling. We're going to put some doors in two sections of it so that way they can be kind of like a built-in liquor cabinet. And in the center will be the television. So we're going to rearrange the room. We're going to make it a lot more functional than what it is currently, and we're going to change the complexion. Now, one of the things that always amazes me is a lot of times, you'll go through and you'll see these cabinets that are going to be built in here. It's going to be a lot of cabinetry. Um, and you look at it and say, you put that into the room's going to feel smaller. But for whatever reason, when you end up doing this stuff, especially floor to ceiling, it's going to raise the look of the ceiling. It's going to make the room feel bigger. It doesn't make sense, but it really, really will. Now, one of the things I like to do, you can go to your home centers, Home Depot and Lowe's, and buy lumber and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. Although you're better off going to supply houses. I want to go ahead and just tell you exactly what I mean. Right here, this is a piece of maple. Okay, you can buy these in different widths from 2-inch to 3-inch, 4-inch, and 6 inches is the widest ones they make. If you just need one board, it's worthwhile to go there. Now, the bad thing about this is this is about $4.60 a foot. $4.60 a foot. So you multiply that by 8 feet. This is about a $50 board. Not exactly cheap, right? But I deal with A&M Supply, and what I end up doing is I buy like a hack of the lumber. 100 board feet pack costs me about $350. Now, it's a lot more wood than I need for just this project, but when you consider this is $50, and when you look over here, you see all these that are down, and then you see all these that are up there. It's a much better bargain buying from the supply house. Another thing I do, you can go to Home Depot and you can buy plywood from them. Now, again, what typically you have to understand about Home Depot is great. I spend a lot of money at Home Depot, so Home Depot, don't get mad at me. But there's certain things that you got to be careful of. Understand that Home Depot and Lowe's are like the Walmart of building supplies. They're trying to get you the best price. Well, sometimes the cheapest price isn't the best price because it also goes to quality. Now, what we have here, now check this out. When I build my cabinets and things, it's not made out of particle board. I stay away from it. Right here, what we have is, look at this, 3/4-inch American-made birch plywood. The amazing thing, now this is what's amazing. I want you to take a good look at this. Let's move the camera over here a little bit. This, my friends, right here. You see this? You see how nice and clean this is? How beautiful that is? How the veneer is not coming off of it? Would you believe that's a paint grade? When you buy sometimes at Home Depot, you get theirs. They only have one grade. And I got to be honest with you, sometimes it doesn't even look like a paint grade. You'll see all the nuts. You'll see the veneer comes off of it real easy, the glue and stuff. It's actually like a Chinese made one. This will cost you a couple dollars more, but I'm telling you, when you go to cut it, you don't have the tear out like you do with the Chinese made ones. It's going to end up being, look, you can take this, you can actually stain this if you want to, although I don't recommend staining maple and birch. You want to do this natural. But they also have other products that are really, really good to use. For example, they have, let me grab some of this. I'm just trying to give you guys a bit of an education. For example, we have this. This, my friends, is 1/2-inch birch plywood that is finished on both sides. You can buy it in the birch, pre-finished. And if you're going to do kitchen cabinets and things like that, this is incredible to use because it's already varnished. It's already smooth. You'll put your hardwood facing on here. All you have to varnish is the facing and the doors. And I like using this 1/2-inch for making drawers because, you know, like if you're doing drawers for a dresser and things, this is smooth. You don't have to worry about it getting splinters and stuff like that. You know, if women have some fancy lingerie and stuff in there, the worst thing that can happen is it gets caught on a little rough spot and it messes it up. Then you're getting yelled at. But you can end up getting great products like this that you can't buy at a Home Depot. And that, my friends, will make the difference of a good job versus a great job. So I ended up buying, I literally spent about $700 between buying the 100 board feet of maple along with 5 sheets of this plywood. But I got to tell you, it's going to be better than anything I could have done at Home Depot. And if I had actually bought just enough lumber at Home Depot to build this project, I probably would have spent more money and I'll end up with still tons of maple for future jobs. So let's go ahead and get started cutting this plywood. Hold your ears, it's going to get a little bit noisy in here. My workshop, that's actually the dust collector. That has pipes that go all the way through. They hook up to the table saw, band saw, everything in here. So that way it keeps the dust down. Now, a lot of times when I'm demonstrating stuff with you guys, I won't have it on because it is kind of noisy. But I need it on because I'm going to be cutting a lot of plywood. So, one other thing too, my workshop is actually a 2-car garage. Not a lot of space for the amount of equipment that I have in here. One of the things my wife says that I'm really good at is making things fit where they don't fit. You know, getting every bit of space out of stuff. So what I want you to notice is, this is my table saw that I built this out table for, out table for, so that way I can use that for a workbench. Right here, I have my joiners. That way, of course, I can join boards that are up to 9 feet long. I can rip boards that are 8.5 feet long all the way across. Up underneath of here, I have a 15-inch planer, so I can do the same thing. 8.5 foot long boards I can run through there. So with this little bit of space that's right here, I can actually do a lot of work right in here in the center of it. I have a rated arm saw that's over here. I've got a thickness sander that actually will sand up to 25 inches wide. I have a huge buried in there. I need to get a new motor for it. But it's like a 1970s wood lathe that weighs about 400 pounds. And of course in the corner I have the dust collector. So there's not a lot of space in here to work, but I'm able to actually produce quite a bit because of the way it's laid out. So let's get to work here. sides you'll notice is I cut that, don't see dust. That's the great thing about the dust collector. It's all being sucked up in that pipe into the dust collector into like a barrel. Then I can dump it in plastic bags. So it keeps me kind of dust free. I hope you guys will follow along. We're going to be doing videos showing each of the steps that we're going to be going through to building these bookcases and stuff. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I actually just love working in my workshop. I'll see you guys soon.